What's up, everybody? How's it going? We are live again, live as much as a recording goes. Welcome to day 19 of our beer advent calendar. Once again, I'm going to get a video in as well as our pictures. So if you're not following us on Instagram, please do. And if you're following us here, you should have the interchange. We are Team Beer Guts, Guts with a Z. And you'll find us that way there as well because, well, we like to be difficult and different. That's just the way we are. We want to be popular, but we also don't want to be popular. We want to be famous. Being famous means, like, hey, come look at us. We are not, hey, come look at us. We are, this is what we do. Do you dig what we do? We like beers. We like bike rides. Hey, I hope you join us. So it's a weird balance in between. So anyway, that's where we are now. And so we're beer advent calendar day number 19, a simple beer for today, but it's actually a beer that's very complex. I won't say complex. It has a lot of history. That's the best way to be able to put this. This is the Weinstefaner Hefeweißbier. Yeah, lots of letters here. I mean, like, I'm gonna put this right in it. Can I put this like right there? Weinstefaner. Boom. Hefeweißbier. There's a lot going on here in a beer that is so simple. It's a German wheat beer. Like, it shouldn't be that crazy. Why is this beer not more accepted? Why is it that I don't want to say people are afraid of it? They're not afraid of it. They just don't pay attention to it as much. German Hefeweizen beer. It's a German wheat beer. It's ready to drink. It's so good, and it's it's simple. It really is. It's also one of those beers that move these. I like clear my glasses a little bit. A lot of people like Hefeweizen. They want wheat beer, and that makes sense. And that's something you want in the summertime. It's a little bit hotter, so you get some the wheat beer characteristics are spicy, citrusy type things, maybe some lemon notes to it as well. You can add some lemon to it, but on a really good beer of this style, you don't need to have a lemon. So why is this unique for what we're doing here? Well, the fact that I have a German Hefeweizen beer in my refrigerator and it's December, yeah, that's why we're having this beer. So I also have an example of a Hefeweizen glass. So it's not exactly Hefeweizen glass. It's close to it as far as how it's scooped up and comes along like this. This was the and it says New England wheat. This is when I was at Lord Hobo, and we wanted to make an American wheat, but we wanted to make it New England style, but we wanted to have some German characteristics to it. So we went with the German beer glass, and then this glass came out, and we're like, no, no, this is a traditional German Hefeweizen glass shape, and they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to put this beer in this, not this beer here. Uh, the beer, this Angelica, into this because it's not a German Hefeweizen glass. Kudos to Lord Hobo to sticking for style. Now, I don't know where you're watching from, but if you're from the New England area, I'll be honest. Lord Hobo gets more than its share of shit. And I can say shit because I'm on the internet. At least I hope so, and I don't get deleted. But anyway, and I feel like that's unfair. I feel like there's a bold and brash attitude to Lord Hobo Brewing Company, but it's for what they believe in. It's what they stand for. It's like, this is our thoughts. You don't like it, don't have the beer, but you're gonna like it because it's good beer. That's what brought me there. It was that, as well as a few other things. And I went to Lord Hobo. And yes, I left Lord Hobo Brewing, not because I didn't like the company. I left Lord Hobo because I had another company with another opportunity that had that same amazing vibe, that I could bring that and how much we bought into what we do and continue to grow it. And it's much closer to home too. So Anyway, I just went off a little bit tangent, but I just feel like the Little Hobo guys get a lot of shit and they shouldn't. So that's just my part of it. Anyway, and they believe in styles. So yeah, the German Hefeweizen glass. That wasn't a German Hefeweizen beer when we made this, and it developed. It's changed even a little bit. But the fact that I have this style glass, and right now I have a German Hefeweizen glass, uh, for a beer that I'm going to drink that's not made by Lord Hobo, is perfect. So that's what we're doing today. So it is the 19th beer of what we're doing for our 19 beers, geez, our Advent calendar beers, and that's what we want to be able to do. So, Weinstefaner Hefeweizenbier. Now, some of you are going to look at me like I'm crazy because this might explode in my face. Hopefully, it is not, because as you know, I like to do one take videos. So let's really hope this doesn't work. So a good Hefeweizen should be able to take it and roll the bottle. That's right. You're going to have some yeast sedimentation on the bottom. I'm even going to roll it this way and get some towards the neck. And I'm going to roll it this way. And I'm going to roll it this way. I'm not shaking it. It's not a bottle of champagne. I'm just rolling it. Why? Because I want to mix that yeast up. Because yeast adds flavor. And that's what we want to be able to have in this beer. So, I'm going to move this out of the way here. Weissweiler Hefbier, see if it actually says, so I can give you, this is 5.4% alcohol. So this is a drinkable beer, which makes sure, they're all drinkable, duh. But a session beer, so to speak. And this is from the world's oldest brewery. And if you don't believe me, I'm not going to explain it to you. I'm just going to tell you that Weihenstephaner is the world's oldest brewery. Weihenstephaner. I can tell you when they started and their heritage and everything else. You don't care, I don't care. Because when it comes down to short details, who's the world's oldest breweries? This guy. And if you want all those details, I could go into that and maybe we have that discussion another time. But I would much rather have that discussion in person. Let's meet over a beer. Let's hang out. Let's drink beer and talk beer history and all those other things that I like to nerd out about. That's why I do these videos. That's why I drink these beers. That's why I put up the pictures. That's why I'm fat. So, because I like beer. So, let's see, whichever. But I'm going to have more of these 5% beers than the 8% beers because I can't be fat. Because if you see my shirt, and this is not just a coincidence, I wore today's shirt, 2020, Mid South. I'm coming for you, Mid South. So I was there in 2020, where 3 days later the world shut down. I didn't know if I was going to get home. I was talking to friends, hey, can you go buy me toilet paper? And they were like, no, like you have to come to my house to take a poop, like that kind of stuff. The world was crazy in 2020. And right now it's 2021 and the world's still crazy. But I was there in 2020. This was my first Mid South, my first ever big. Like I traveled for this event. I did some other gravel events before that, but I had to travel. I had to drive up. This I had to fly and get to, and everything. It was crazy, but I had an amazing time, and I'm really looking forward to 2022. Not only just going to Mid South, but completing Mid South post surgery, post cancer, post work, post pandemic, post. I'm coming for you, Mid South. I'm completing it. And yeah, I'm doing the shorter route. You know what? I'm over 50 and I'm fat. I'm just going to take it at that. Anyway, let's talk about this beer real quick. I kept saying how simple it was. I thought this was going to be a 5 minute video. Here we are at 9.5 minutes, and I haven't even told you about the beer. Let's get into this, right? So, this beer right here is delicious. I know it's going to be delicious because I've had it a bunch of times. So, let's look at this color and look at how I'm pouring that. I'm going to pour it vigorous. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to, wow, boom. Please don't spill. Please don't spill. Please don't spill for me. Oh, it didn't. A beauty of this beer glass that you can pour it super vigorous to release the esters and the aromas and the phenols and everything else that's going on with this beer. But the shape of the glass, I keep doing this, I'm sorry, it's weird. Um, the shape of the glass coming in like this stops it. If it was just fully flared, it would keep going. But this kind of catches it in and now holds it. And now it holds the foam in, it holds the beer in. Oh, good God, that smells amazing. Ah, that is, again, we're talking about esters, banana, phenols, pepper. In my opinion, that is the most basic breakdown of those two things that you can get. Yeast is what's going to add that to a beer. Now, warmer fermentation, cooler fermentation, that also will contribute to it as well. And the Hefeweizen style is usually brewed a little bit warmer. So what do you want? You want bananas and you want esters. Now, do I want banana beer? No. But in this, yes, that banana sweetness. Yes, there's spicy phenols, but it subdues. It's not pop you in the face. It's not black pepper. Oh, and a good God, is that refreshing. Now, Hefeweizen beer, wheat beer, you can see there's some haze to this. A wheat beer could be hazy or could not be hazy. The Hefeweizen, Hefe and wheat, Weizen is Hefe yeast. It's gonna be hazy, but not hazy, turbid the way that we are seeing New England IPAs. But that means there's a lot of natural beer in here right now, and I just this Bavarian style of banana and spice, yeast flavor, malt. Let's go way back too, and maybe I jumped way ahead. Wheat beer. What you want is malt, but the malt base has to be a percentage of pale or base or two row or six row or whatever, but also a large percentage of wheat malt. And it can't be like, hey, 50% and 2%. That's not a wheat beer. It's got to be 50% and 62% wheat. Yeah. They do the same thing with whiskeys. If you're looking at a wheated whiskey, so whiskeys, I believe, have to be at least 51% um, American barley. I'm gonna mess this up. I know I'm gonna mess that up. Let me look at that, and I'll talk about it in the next video. But whatever it is, that percentage has to be at least here. And then, so if you want it to be a rye whiskey or a oat whiskey or whatever, it needs to be up on this side. Wheat beer, same idea. We've been doing it at the same time. We've been doing it a long time. So all you whiskey drinkers that think you're sophisticated, yeah, guess what? Beer's been doing it a long time since the Egyptians. And all you wine drinkers, guess what? You weren't doing it then at all. So I'm just gonna brag a little bit that beer, yeah, I don't have to say the words. Anyway, I've been talking way too long. But the bottom line is, I'm excited to be able to have this beer and share this with you. So, some citrus notes in there as well. Light banana, light clove. Um, I get a little bit of lemon, which is funny because wheat beers, a lot of people are like, oh, we'll squeeze some lemon in there, put the lemon wedge on it. It really doesn't need it. It doesn't. It's got that lemony flavor to it anyway. Um, and I just feel like that might overdo it. If you want more intensive, do it. But if not, it's there. And that's why it's such a refreshing beer in the summer and one of my favorites to drink after a long, hot bike ride in the summertime. So it's winter, it's December. So why am I drinking Hefeweizen? Because I have it in the fridge. And you should know about this style. And that way you're thinking about it later. And when you're on a long bike ride and you're training and you're on the trainer, you're like, man, I really want a beer right now. You're going to have your winter beer, but think about that summer beer, that spring beer that you're going to want to have after you do your long Grand Fondo, after you do your long gravel race, after you do your long charity bike ride. What do you want? What beer do you want? Lager, half a bite, something like that. I don't know. but I'm just giving you ideas. And that's why I'm here, because I just want to share my passion and my ideas and my thoughts about craft beer. So hopefully you enjoy this. And yeah, I'm getting long winded. So I'm going to go. And it's Sunday. There's football to watch. I got to go. Until then, be good to yourself, be good to each other, and drink good beer. Uncle Frank, out. Cheers.